Hello, everybody. My name is Maggie Rose Cunningham. I am the founder of maggieandrose.com, and I'm here to speak to you today about the Awaken to the Runes program, which runs yearly. It's a year-long program, and at the time that I'm recording this, we're just in the last week before the Awaken to the Runes 2022 program kicks off. So our doors will be closing at midnight on Friday, the 24th of June, for those of you who are thinking about joining this year. And one of the things that I found people often ask about is less about the, what's the content going to cover, what's the transformation going to be, which we talk about quite a lot for those of you who are in the hearth space community or have been engaged with my work for a while. You will know that my intention through the program is to create a deep initiatory and transformative journey for you. That means that you know the runes, and you can work with them as gateways for magic, healing, seership, all of those things. We talk about that quite a lot, but one of the questions I often get from people is more about the technology. The body of work that created Awakening was actually created as I was putting together something that I thought was going to be a book. People, that's what they do, they books about the runes. And when I was on page, I think it was like page 500, I was just like, it's just not working. It doesn't feel right to me. And I realized that actually I wanted to deliver something that came through sound a lot more, visuals a lot more, interaction a lot more. And I realized that in that case, technology was my friend. About half of the cohort each year, maybe more, come from America, Australia, Germany, in our international, and we're operating across time zones, and actually being able to deliver the content of Awakening online has a lot of advantages. But when you're looking at it and you think, well, this is like a sealed box, and I don't know what's going to come in there, and maybe you're not that confident with technology. So I'm going to run through for you what it looks like, so you've got some familiarity if that's something that's making you think, maybe this isn't for me, or I don't really understand how it's going to work. So when you sign up to Awaken to the Runes, you get login details, your own personal login details for the Mag and Rose website, and you can see all of your programs and subscriptions appear then under your subscriptions on the right hand side, as long as you're logged in. The login button's there, and you get your username and your password, and yes, you do need to remember them. So you've got your username and your password, then you get to your subscriptions, and here's Awaken to the Runes. So I'm a member for Awaken to the Runes, and this is your central page. This is where you go to when you start with Awaken. So what we've got in here is we've got an orientation section that takes you through all of the things like, where do I go if I don't know what's happening? Where are all of my key dates? How do I do this? I need some help. It's all in there. And we also have all of the videos for our in-person circles. So not everyone on Awaken attends the circles in person. People try, they want to do that. For some people, it's an essential part of their learned experience. For other people, they're more comfortable, they're more self-study, and that's fine. You don't have to come to all of the in-person circles. Obviously, it's nice if you come, because otherwise I feel a bit lonely. But all of the videos of those sessions are made available to you in this section here, so that you can go and you can look at them. At the moment, there aren't any videos in there, so I'm not going to show it to you because it would look a little bit dull. You've just got where they will go. Then you've got your preparation module. So people who are signed up to the program that already have that, takes you through creating your own Galdra book. We have a PDF all about creating that, about discovering your own personal pathway. So it's easing in and getting you ready for the program and what it's going to entail. And then underneath, you have your main pieces here that you're going to be using. So I'm going to come back to these. So you've got the Awakening sessions, which are 24 modules, and the Pathways of Practice, which are 24 modules. So they're all there, and we're going to look at them. But underneath, we've also got, Awakening has a private Facebook group, which is only available to people on the program, where we also stream all of the circles into that Facebook group, so that they're there straight away, and people are sharing, how's the course going for me? So for those of you who like sharing, but not always sort of in person on the Zoom live, you like to say, this is what's happening to me, or I've just learned this about this room. What do people think? We've got a group where you can do that just with your cohort. We've also got our Awakening Zoom room, which is where all of the circles happen. So you literally click on that link, use the passcode. I'm not giving you the link because obviously you can get in, and then you're in, and it's done. Dates for your diary, all of the dates for all of the modules you can print out as a PDF. You also get an email before every circle, 24 hours before every circle. This is a circle, this is how you join, you can do this. And you get a email when each module opens as well, saying, oh, this is you're now good to go, the module is open. So all of that's there, and there's email if there's any problems. So the awakening sessions, you're getting a bit of a preview now because the people who are on this program can't actually see all of this yet. So when you come into awakening, you will see that there is an awakening module for each of the runes in the Elder Futhok, and they're all there waiting to be open through the course of the year. And each of these modules opens on the half month. So the runic wheel, the 24 runes, they work through the wheel of the year, and they open on the half months. And when they open, and again, for those of you who are on the program already, when you click on this button at the moment, it will say no access for you, because it will open on the half month so that you're not overwhelmed by all of the rune content at this point. And we're all working together through the course of the year. So I get to open it. So this is what your modules will look like. So this is Feiyu Awakening. So you have your 6 steps to connection. There is a printout of all of the rune poems, the ancient rune poems. You have a power song, which you can download, which is a song that I have recorded using the seed sounds and the sounds of the runes. So you've got that, so you can meditate with that. You have an introduction video, and normally about, I want to say about half an hour, the videos. About 20 minutes to half an hour, talking you through the rune, its meanings, color associations, really getting to know the rune in detail. You have a Feiyu in story piece, which is a woven story, drawing in some of the traditional associations, traditional stories associated with the runes, plus some modern, we sometimes have fairy tales in there as well, to give you that sort of rich experience of the rune. Because humans, we learn through story. So, the video is great and it gives you all the practical stuff, and your PDF, they're great. But the story can really help to start to get those meanings and that feeling for the rune in. Then you have a feeling Feiyu meditation, where we go through, and obviously it's the same for each rune. Where would I feel this in my body? And that's normally about 20 minutes as well. So you do a 20-minute meditation to get to know energetically how the rune feels when you're working with it. And then you have an integration exercises PDF, which takes you through stuff that you can do that is particularly appropriate for working with that rune. And you have 2 weeks if you're working through the modules where you're working with each rune. So you have 2 weeks where you can work through these materials and enjoy them. So the other piece that you will get, as well as your awakening pages, is your pathways of practice. So these are also 24 modules. So here's the pathways of practice. Again, we're going to do a sneak preview. Now, each of these modules is different because they're teaching elements of rune practice. So we have Galdra with the voice. So most of these modules are made up again of PDFs where we talk through, I talk through what the key concepts are that I'm introducing. There may well be printables that you can work through. So for example, what the sounds of the runes are. There's normally video or audio materials to support you in working through each of this. So you've got Galdra with the voice, Stad Galdra working with the runes in the body. We've got making a rune. We've got working with merc staves and bright staves. So looking at the runes the right way up and the wrong way up, how that starts to work. Colors and elements, deep piece on number and time. We go through crystals, minerals, and earth lore associated with each of the runes. Then we start on our seership work, so looking at rune spreads. We cover deities and objects, starting to work with the deities and the objects associated with each rune. Carrying on with our seership, now working with rune casting with a marked cloth, so casting the runes down, working in that way. Then we look at animals, animal associations, really, really powerful for those of you who followed a shamanic path before and you work well with animal spirits, that they can provide another doorway into the runes. We look at soul lore, Northern tradition soul lore, with a specific focus on the runes. And you can see here, that's my soul lore cloth. So we look at how you can start to bring in other aspects of the Northern tradition work into your rune work. Then we have free form rune casting, without a marked cloth, just throwing them down, plants, herbs, and oil associations with the runes. Then we're starting on simple rune magics, so starting to combine all of the stuff that you've learned previously so that you can start to work with the runes magically. Working with guides, another aspect of seership and a really rich aspect of seership, connecting with a guide who can help you on your personal pathway. We have 2 modules on healing for yourself, healing for others. This takes you deeper than, for those of you who've been at the series of workshops that I do. We do 1 workshop on healing, so this takes you deeper with that. Defense and cursing as well. Not necessarily teaching cursing, but it's important to know and to understand that runes are not negative or positive. They are simply powers that we can work with and use. So it's important that we understand how they can be used with negative intent, even if it's so that we can identify when that's happening. Bind runes, so combining different runes together and to make a unique symbol, working in 2 dimensions, so flat. Bind runes in sound, so drawing runes together and creating blended sounds. Bind runes in 3 dimensions. Now that's a fun module, I have to say. Rune Amal, the speech of runes, channeling rune wisdom directly, and we finish with rune doorways and the 9 worlds. So you get one of those modules opening every 2 weeks through the course of your year as well. Now, there is a lot of content in Awakening, and that is deliberate. And I think about this as, if you buy a book and it's a good book, you don't necessarily just read it once. You often go back to it. So as long as you complete your program, you keep your access to Awaken, to all of the content, as long as Mag and Rose continues to exist. It is there for you, so you can go back through the content anytime you want to. So for a lot of people, one of the reasons we do all the preparatory work and we have the circles is to help to hone their focus for the year. And then you get to go back and use those resources again and again, as many times as you want to support you in your rune work. So that's let's say the technical bit, the space that you can expect. So you will have your username and your password. There is a Facebook group. It is a private Facebook group. You do not need to use Facebook for any other purpose if you do not want to. If you're not already on Facebook, you can just set up an identity just for that. And we have our Zoom room as well. So those are our sort of 3 methods of engagement through the course of the program. But I hope that lifts the veil a little bit on what you can expect from the resources that you will get through the course of the Awakening journey. So for those of you looking at this prior to the 24th of June 2022, there is still space on the program. Doors are still open. It is very, very easy to join or to email me at talk@magandrose.com if you have any questions about the journey. I am fully intending to run the program again starting in June 2023. There are never any guarantees, but I plan to do that again. So if you're looking at this video again, this is very similar to what you receive. I like to tweak the pages every year to make them prettier and easier to navigate based on feedback, but it's pretty much what you will see. But I hope to see many of you who, whether this is the first time you've seen Awakening and you want to know more about the actual what does it do, please do get in touch, or whether you've been thinking about, is this for me, that answers some of the questions for you. Lovely to see you all, and yeah, please do get in touch.